Commercial awareness has become this overhyped buzzword, but you didn't hear that from me. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Law Careers YouTube channel. It's your girl Simranjeet Kaur Mann here. I've recently started my training contract for a UK top 20 law firm, and I provide content about law, careers, personal development, as well as vlogging my journey to becoming a solicitor and beyond. If you like this video and you want to see more of my content, please do check out my YouTube channel via the video description below. Now, I've started this video off slightly controversial. Let me explain why I think that commercial awareness is slightly overhyped. Personally, I believe it has become this phrase that only the elites can obtain. You have to put in blood, sweat and tears, dream about the financial times for you to gain that almighty commercial awareness. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating a little bit here, but it feels like sometimes you need the IQ of Einstein to be able to understand it all. Let me start off with what I personally believe commercial awareness is. So for me, commercial awareness is all about displaying an interest of what's going on in the world, be it the legal world, the business world, or just general current affairs. Here are 6 tips on how to become more commercially aware. Firstly, use accessible sources. Perfectly okay if you enjoy reading the Financial Times, but it can be quite difficult to understand. So be easy with yourself first and use some of the sites mentioned in the video description below. A big one that I would like to mention, however, is the Law Careers Commercial Awareness Roundup. The link to this is also in the description below. Secondly, understand key definitions. So if you're reading a technical article, an article about an area of law, for example, a recent deal, know what the definitions are about. Things like what's an IPO, what's a share sale, what's an asset sale, what's an indemnity. Websites like Investopedia are really helpful in breaking down these technical terms. Thirdly, don't take the article at face value. Try and analyze what you're reading. So ask yourself these questions when reading the article. Do you understand the key definitions like we talked about in point 2? Do you agree with the article's contents? Is there a quote in there, for example, that you don't agree with? If you don't agree with it, why don't you agree with it? And if you do agree with a point, why do you agree? Does this story that you're reading right now link to other stories that you have read? And also, you can analyze the article using the SWOT or the PESTLE analysis. Head over to my channel via the description below, where I do 2 videos, one where I use the SWOT analysis and another where I use the PESTLE analysis. Fourth, I would say read around the topic. So find several stories that relate around the same topic of the article. These could be articles about Brexit or coronavirus or the high street retail crisis or blockchain. This can help in building a picture of differing views and just gaining a whole rounded picture of what's going on. Fifth, I would recommend keeping a commercial awareness journal. This really helps me as I was able to group stories up per topic. Like I said, I had stories for Brexit, I had articles that talked about the high street retail crisis, etc. Then, if I was reading a new story that related to something about something that I've read before, I would say, link to page 6 of my journal where these 2 stories interlink. It's essentially something that you could talk about in an interview. Say if you were asked about the topic, you're able to provide a more whole-rounded picture using several articles rather than just relying on the one. And last, you need to think about 2 things when reading the article at hand. Why does the story interest you? And how does it relate to law firms in general or the firm that you're applying to? So the first question you ask yourself about why you're interested in the article itself, it really helps in answering those application questions like, tell us about a recent news story that you've read about recently and why you're interested in it. You can show interest here by relating it back to your experiences. Say if you studied something at university, or you are a paralegal or a legal executive in that particular area, or you've listened to a podcast or read a book about the topic, or you've read other articles about the topic, or you've got your own opinion about what's going on, you can include those aspects in your answer. And secondly, like I said, it's important to consider why the article is relevant to the firm you're applying to or to the legal sector generally. So when reading a news story, think about how could a team of lawyers be involved here? What teams can be involved? Could there be more than one practice area therefore involved with this particular story? If you're reading an article and you don't know the answer to these questions, find out, research, and therefore you are taking one article building further research on it, not only about the article itself, but just how law firms operate as well. I hope you have found this video useful. Now I expect you all to be commercially aware genius. I don't even know whether aware is a word. I've just literally just made that up. But yeah, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.